Hello, welcome back. I'm Jeff Byers, and this is Annie 258, and we are on part 3 of adding substance materials to our scene. So we've got a small level we're working on, and I'm going to have you guys do two types of materials. So one's going to be something that you see on a brand new building, and let's say this was just recently constructed, so that's the best way to describe it, is that you're going to find materials that look new, okay? And then you'll save this scene as module 1 new, okay, your first name, last name, module 1 new, and we'll make some changes that way, module new, so all the textures will look new, okay, right, just like it was just built, okay? And then I want you to add materials. This will be a different scene, so you'll save this as module 1 new scene, or however you want to call it, new level. Doesn't matter to me what you call it, but we want a scene or a level that has materials that look new, and then I want you to create a scene with materials that look old. Okay? Alright, so maybe 50 or 60 years old, you know, that type of thing, and I'll show you what I come up with, and you guys can work on. I'll give you an example, but I'm going to continue working on something that looks more new for this level, and then I'll show you what I come up with the old materials, with the materials that make this look a little older, okay, and worn. Alright, so with that said, let's go ahead and work with the walls. Okay. Now, if you have a wall surface, now all 4 walls might be the same. I don't know what you end up coming up with. But I think I'm going to do a wall with books and stuff. I've got a really strange material I found, which is pretty cool, on Substance Source. That's the paid site, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. But it's pretty cool, and it's well worth it. Anyway, I might see if I can get that for you. It's a fairly large text. Some of these materials are, like, one I downloaded was 215 megabytes. It was insane. But it's got some really cool parameters and attributes you can change on it. I think it's a siding. But anyway, so let me see if I can find that wall. I'm going to go back to materials here and see. Here's my materials I have so far. And so you can you can add materials, you can create materials from scratch. I'm going to have you guys create at least one material yourself and apply it somewhere in your house or in your room. And you can use it for the walls or something like that, but it's that basic material that you guys created when you guys went through the tutorial series. So you'll need to create one material on your own following the video tutorial series on Introduction to Materials. Okay, that's under the lecture tutorial in module 1, or excuse me, module 2. So module 2, and that'll be part of that series that you watched earlier. Okay. Alright, so you'll need to create a material on your own. You're going to have to do show me that you can do something new looking and then something older looking. So I know you understand what worn and old looks like and what new looks like. Okay, now the ground, obviously, something that just looks green would be considered new, you know, and then something muddy, maybe dirt, you know, would be considered old, right? So that kind of thing. And I'll give you an example when I get finished. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to import some more materials in here. You can see that anything that you see here that looks like a round sphere with a texture on it, that's what you're going to drag and drop. So I'm going to go ahead and import, and I've already got on my desktop, I've got some old and new materials kind of in their own folders. So let's see here. New siding painted. Do I have just a regular? Here's that bookshelf I was telling you about. Bricks, no. What do I want to put on for the interior walls? Just a generic. Let's see here. What do I got? See if I can find something really quick. Sorry about that, but it's just, you know, it's like you got to find something. I'm just looking for paint satin. That's it. So just regular paint. Open that up. There's not much you have to do here. I think it's all defaulted okay, and then you bring it in. So here's the paint satin. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the walls. There you go. And you know, it doesn't look like there's much going on there, but that's a wall texture. So what I'm going to do is, you can see the paint satin. You can see that if we want to go into the paint, we need to go into the graph instance. And we got our base color, our normal map, roughness, metallic, and everything looks good. Color. Pick a color. So let's go ahead, and this is where we can pick our color. I'm going to do kind of a off-white, more of a brownish color. If I can get it over there. Get browns. Look, it's going to take a little bit of doing here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Right, I just don't want it to be white. There we go. That looks good. And it's a satin, so I can definitely copy that, I think. Control C and go to the next wall and do a Control V. There we go. Alright. I'm going to do that for all the walls. Control V. I think I'm going to do a book wall here. Oh, there's that little piece there I was talking about. So let's go ahead. Let's do a Control V on that. There we go. And this wall here, we're going to do something special on this wall right here. I'm going to do that bookshelf I was yakking about. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and import that bookshelf. And I think that is in my new materials. Where are you? Bookshelf. There it is. Alright, open that up. I thought this was kind of a cool looking material. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, so I thought that was pretty neat. So let's take a look at it and see if that'll work. I don't even know if it'll work. And that's what it looks like. So base color looks like that, which is kind of cool. So it might fit. It might look a little stretched, or I might duplicate it over, but that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that on there. And we've got to size it and scale it a little bit. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to go in here and get a little bit closer to it. And see if we can't make that look a little bit better. So, scale's way too small. Let's do something like 6 maybe? And 6. There we go. A little bit too big. You just got to kind of test it out. So maybe 4 and 4. And then we just got to move it up. So move it up and down. So we're going to go up. We went a little too far. Well, it's still a little bit too big, probably. So let's go with that's pretty cool. I like that. bookshelf there. I'm a little off there. A little bit off on this side. So I need to be a little bit bigger. 3.6 maybe? Alright, good enough. Alright, so sorry about that. It just takes time. Okay, so now I got the bookshelf finished, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the windows and the door. So I'm going to get all the windows and just add that same texture I have that I did with the walls. I'm going to do Control C and then click on and do Control V. Whoopsie daisy. And Control V. Oh, it won't let me do that. Let's go ahead and add that then. Alright. And so I'll come back after I get the color changed and all that stuff, and we should be good to go. Alright, I'm going to pause the video and get back after I get all the interior pieces done as far as the sides of the windows and the doors. We don't want anything untextured here. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, it's really coming along. You can see that I got all the inner pieces here. Now, again, I wasn't able to select the plane. It was messing up, like doing a copy and paste. So I just had to drag on each piece. You have to be very careful. If you click on that and drag it on that, it may not work. It may do something really bizarre. So be careful with copy and paste, especially with subtractive. That's a subtractive surface. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply my fancy texture I found on the ceiling. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Import, and we can do Victorian wood ceiling. Okay, open that up, import that in. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and drag and drop it onto that, and it's really cool looking, but it's really scaled too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this time to figure that out and not waste your time. You know how to scale, so you can just change that and scale that up. So okay, so I got the scale just the way I want it. I'm going to go ahead and do a Control C and then go over here and do Control V and copy that so they're exactly the same size. And since we aligned the textures, everything looks really good. So I'm going to do really quick play. I'm going to build this really quick and then come back and we'll play it. You can see what it looks like. Okay, so I just got done building all, and I'm going to do you've gotten this far, the inside is completely done. Then you're going to need to go ahead and save your scene, save current as. You can see how many saves I have so far. This time I'm going to call this 14. I'm going to call this new, because this will be new. So we'll do new. And save that. The one thing that you got to remember to do too as well, and I forgot to do it, and you will forget too, is that you need to save the materials that you've been actually pulling in. So go ahead and click on Save All. Okay, click Save Selected, and then go back and do File, Save Current As. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on the one I just saved and save over top of it. There we go. Right, so I replace that one. So now it remembers all the textures, so you won't have to try to find them, all the textures I've used so far. And let's go ahead and play and see what it looks like. and you can see the paint peel on there. It's really pretty amazing. You can actually see the paint on there, which is really cool. It's very small, but you can see it in the ceiling. Looks good, and the walls look good. It works really nice together. So I can't wait to set dress this with furniture and stuff. That's what we're going to be doing next. So just remember that you'll want to do an interior. You'll have two interiors. One's going to be new, something like this, and then you're going to have old materials and apply those to the inside. And so we're going to go ahead and finish the outside up, and we'll come back and I'll show you what I've got going on with that. Okay, so I've got everything set up for the outside now, and you can see that I've got my basically my outside walls done with brick. You know, I'm not sure if I'm happy with that or not. I could do like stucco in the front or the sides. I haven't decided yet. I might change my mind, but the whole idea is that we got the outside done, and it's pretty clean and looks new, so that kind of fits the criteria for this one. And then I'm going to do like a cement on the top and the sides. So I'm going to add that on there, and then add the material, brick material on the outside here, and that should be it. And then we'll be done with the new version, new materials on the scene, and then we'll start working on the old materials in part 4. But right now I'm going to pause and just finish everything up so you can take a look at it and see what I got. Okay, so I've got my entire level all completely finished. I just need to go ahead and play and make sure everything is right. I've got the material like a stucco on the top of the building, and I've got brick on the walls, and everything looks fairly new. So basically all we have to do now is play test our level real quick. I'll pause and we'll get ready for that. Okay, I just built it, and let's go ahead and hit play. I'm gonna see if I can get in full screen mode, F11, and let's go ahead and play the level. Just make sure everything's looking good. The walls look about the right size, the grass looks about the right size, the brick looks about the right size. Everything's looking really good. Very happy with that. So far so good. Looking good. I think I'm gonna need to scale the inside of the walls here. I decided to do brick because brick usually goes all the way into the door there, and we'll do that for the windows, so I'll rescale that. Other than that, I'm very happy with the build and the materials. So this will be my new materials and level, and we'll stop right here, and we'll come back with part 4 with our series, and I'll see you then. We'll start working on our old dilapidated level.